Hi, I'm Catherine Goshen, a professional astrologer from the village of Nyack in New York State, and I'm passionate about in-depth astrology and getting to the heart of the matter. And Leo suns, Leo risings, you are no strangers to the heart of the matter. Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun rules the heart in astrology. And for a Leo to stand in the power of love with a true sense of purpose is the most magnificent thing to witness. So for all of you Leo suns and Leo risings, let's look at the forecast for 2022 and see if this year can bring you closer to your own empowerment. So once every 7 years, we get a visit from the planet Saturn, which enables us to develop some kind of perseverance and tirelessness in our lives. And this builds stamina. We often have changes at work as a result, or changes in our relationship, because we see the areas where we are weak and where we need to grow stronger. Now, 2021, this opportunity was granted to early Leos, those of you born around July 22nd until around August the 9th, or for those of you who have an early Leo ascendant in the first 10 degrees or so of Leo. Now, as 2022 gets underway, the opportunity for perseverance and tirelessness, and also to simplify your life, so getting rid of extraneous things that don't serve you and just get in the way of you finding your purpose. The opportunity is going to be for the middle group of Leos. So Leo suns who are born around August 10th until around August 17, you're going to get that visit from the planet that asks you to be more energetic, less tiring, and to persevere in whatever area of your life you are working on the hardest. It will be affecting those with Leo ascendants in the mid-range, and then in the early part of 2023, it will be the opportunity for those of you with late Leo ascendants or late Leo suns. In other words, if your birthday is around August 18 until August 22nd. As always, when you listen to one of my forecasts, I suggest that you listen to your rising sign first, because when we are using these solar houses, that is more accurate for timing. And also bear in mind, this is a very general forecast, and when I give a date, take a day or two on either side. It depends what time zone you're in. And you may also wish to listen to your moon sign, because sometimes the moon sign can give us the emotional undercurrent that is going to be affecting our year as the planets move through the signs. Before we look a little closer month by month on how best to use the energies that are available to you for 2022, let's just take a brief overview of the year. Most importantly, the year is divided into 3 separate areas for you, Leo. So the first 4 to 5 months, in other words, from January to the early part of May, it looks like you're going to be dealing with either a lot of psychological processing and possibly spiritual metamorphosis as you go deep into things that have been calling you for a while, and you make time to process them. Then from mid-May until early November, there's a total shift, and we see you going on a trip, traveling. If you're not traveling, you're expanding your consciousness in some way. Possibly you are making new contacts with people from far and wide. You may be getting to study something new and to get really interested in a new area of exploration. And the final 2 months of the year, November and December, see you in that third phase, revisiting what happened in the early part of the year. So I use the word psychology, I use the word processing, but this can also manifest in other ways. It can, on a very practical level, possibly mean that you are having to deal with your partner's finances and get things in order there. You may be finishing up a divorce and having to finalize how the resources are divided. Whether it's on that practical level or it's on a deeper level where you have decided that you're going to go for therapy, or you're going to work on yourself, or you're going to have some kind of counseling, that is going to be in the early part of the year, and you'll finish it up in the last 2 months. And then we have that beautiful middle chunk from around May 10 until November 1st, where things expand for you. The past seems to be behind you, and you can really go into something which is very opening of your consciousness. You may travel literally, you may travel symbolically, but whatever it is, Leo, you suddenly realize that you have been processing a lot and it's time to move on. Another big theme for you, Leo, has been that since March of 2020, you've been struggling with huge dynamics between your relationship or your wish for a relationship and your work or your wish for a job and your struggle to get one. If you're not working, it could be decisions around college. If you're not in a relationship, it could be decisions around feeling that you need to be in one. But whatever the case, there is still this pull continuing on from early 2020, and it's continued in 21, and it's going to continue throughout 22. But the good news is that it's lessening. So Leo, I invite you to have courage, which you are no stranger to, and to also listen very closely to your heart when it comes to relationships. There is a tendency to leap in where angels fear to tread, and sometimes you find yourself in a very serious relationship, possibly when you're not ready for it. So if you are looking still for a serious long-term partner, it is better to go slowly when you first meet someone and to quietly take those first few steps when you enter into a relationship. You are not looking for someone to control you. What you really need is an equal relationship. So if you are meeting someone new, and there's a very good chance for that happening in March, around March 6th to April 4th, if you are looking for a new relationship, then please, Leo, just take it easy in the beginning, and that will give you every opportunity to ensure that it is a long-lasting relationship built on solid footing. The very start of 2022 looks like a good party time for you. There's great energy with action planet Mars in your house of parties and socialization. If you're not of a partying age, perhaps you're hanging out with your kids, relaxing on holiday. But all in all, a wonderful, joyful, happy, pleasurable start to the year, Leo. Then around the 14th of January, you've got a Mercury Retrograde coming up. So you want to take it easy for about 3 weeks. Don't initiate any new projects at work. A great time to get down to work, though, in terms of going back to the office or really starting to get into some kind of a routine would be around January 24th, because there's a lot of activation in your solar chart at that time, showing that you could be of service to someone, you could be making very good contacts at work, and it's really a good time to be busy and to be on the scene, so to speak. We already mentioned the potential to meet someone in March and the first few days in April. So best of luck with that. If you are already in marriage, in a permanent partnership, that's a great time to give some extra attention to your partner. And if you're single and very happy being single, which I know some of you are, this is a great month to put yourself out there in terms of the public. If you're working in a job which has public relations, a very positive month, and you'll certainly feel at your best in terms of getting a message out there. Another positive suggestion that the chart shows for March and going into early April is to take a holistic approach to your health. So in other words, if you have something small and niggling going on, something that bothers you, maybe it's not that thing that is bothering you, but it's something to do with your diet. So you don't have to, for example, go to the knee doctor. Maybe you just need to cut out acid food in your diet. So I'm just using that as an example, but there's a really strong indication, Leo, that if you put energy into a holistic approach to your health in the first few months of the year, it's really going to tide you well for the rest of the year. So I invite you to do that. Mid-April to the end of May is a wonderful time to do some kind of financial reassessment. If you are in a relationship where your finances are pooled, this is a good time to figure that out and see how your spending is. It's not a great month to go off on a holiday or to spend a lot on the house or to spend money because you simply feel like buying something beautiful. It's a great month to consolidate and to possibly save money because you know that you're going to need it to go on that vacation later on in the year, or you're going to invest it in something. All right, a really good time to bring into balance. Your partner might be earning more money now. If you're single, you might have to reassess your own finances and figure out your tax. But it's a good month to pay attention to any kind of financial dealings and not to simply waste money or to spend money for the sake of it. Around the 2nd to 3rd week in May, all the way through to the 1st week in July, there's an incredibly expansive shift for you, and really going into November, but there'll be a concentrated zone of energy then, because you'll have both Jupiter moving into your 9th house and you'll have Mars also quickly activating that house. So what does this mean? It means that all of a sudden there are opportunities for expansion. Your goals become clearer and you seem to know what you want to do and where you're going after that period of psychological or inner processing. There's also this sense that you might be planning a vacation now, but it's not just a vacation to the coast, which is an hour or two from your house. It's a vacation or a trip, possibly even a pilgrimage somewhere far. So I see you planning or traveling to plan with intent during the last part of May, all of June and into early July. And possibly throughout July and August, you could also make this trip. It's just that the planning really seems to start now because suddenly you know what you want to do, what you've been saving money for, and what kind of pilgrimage you need to make. A pilgrimage is about going somewhere which has deep and significant meaning for you. It may be religious, it may be spiritual, and it may also be an authentic place where you are looking for family roots, or you are going to find out something about your past. So I encourage you to do that, Leo, and it doesn't have to be a huge, expensive trip. It might be a trip where you actually end up taking different kinds of transport to what you usually take. Maybe you're going to take a train and you usually fly. Whatever the case, make room for expansion in your life during this mid part of the year. If you can't afford to travel or you are unable to travel, try to learn something new. You could take a course, or you could simply start to learn and study yourself on a subject that's always interested you. There is plenty of material out there and plenty of excellent books. So expand your mind. You wish to grow in the middle part of the year. And we are searching, all of us are searching for greater meaning in our life. And one way to feed that need is to find a passion that speaks to you. So go for it, Leo. From early July until around the third week in August, there is a strong emphasis on your house of work. So pay attention to that, and if it's possible, this would be a great time of year to put in extra time at work and to give your career the best of your attention. Earlier on in the year, there are going to be both a lunar and a solar eclipse, end of April, early May, which are going to take place in your house of career and in your house of the home. And what that signifies is that there's going to be some kind of change at work, some kind of endings, some kind of beginnings. Maybe you're going to get a new job, get a promotion. Maybe you're going to restructure your business. Whatever the case, there is a lot of activation in those two houses throughout the year. There are a second set of eclipses which will take place in the same houses. Those will be in October and November. So be aware that the effects of these eclipses can be long-lasting. They're only really powerful if they're contacting a planet in your personal chart, so don't worry too much about them. But on the whole, what they tend to do is to activate those solar houses. So if you are a Leo rising, be aware of possible shifts that can take place because of these eclipses, and use that July period to really, July and August, to really focus at work, because there is the possibility for change at that time, and change brings opportunity. The sun will move into your sign on July 22nd, so happy birthday to all you Leo suns. And on the 28th, give or take a day or two on either side, is your new moon, Leo. So I encourage you to make that a very special time where you set your intentions for the year ahead, and you really meditate on how you want the coming solar year for you, which takes place from your birthday until your next birthday, how you want that to be different for you, Leo. All right, every birthday we get the opportunity to reset. We get a new planetary lord or lady to guide us through the year, and use that new moon to take some time, possibly to journal, to write down what do you wish for the coming year, and what do you need to do in order to make the pathway clear so that that journey can open for you. August 11 to September 4th, a beautiful few weeks for you, Leo, if you're planning to have a party, or to host, or to cater, or to enjoy yourself. A beautiful time, because Venus will be traveling through your sign then. bringing you those beautiful small blessings of pleasure and prosperity. The last few months of the year look really exciting for you, Leo, because you will have a concentrated visit of action energy in the house in your chart, where it has to do with rewards from work. That can be anything from a salary increase to getting an accolade or to receiving a lot of good feedback, positive feedback. All this activity is going to be taking place in this house of your chart, and it's going to be a prolonged event, so that all the way through until 2023, you're going to get an opportunity to work on this area of your chart. And not only does it deal with accolades or rewards from work, but it can also be to do with your friendships, making new friendships, and consolidating your friendships, being in groups, joining a new group, finding support through a group. So much to learn here. And because the sign that this is taking place in is to do with business, I see you possibly making a lot of new contacts at this time, which are going to carry on over into 2023 and offer you many opportunities. We do also have that shift at the very end of October, early November, where you're going to get a reactivation of that deep psychological energy that you began the year with, where you had to either deal with your own things that you were processing and healing, or that had to do possibly with taxation or your partner's finances. So you're going to get this wonderful opportunity to finish that up, to clear it out, and then we're going to see this beautiful shift again in December, where you launch into that expansive goal that you set mid-year, and things are really growing for you. So best of luck. If you are studying something new or taking exams, I wish you all the best. It looks like a good year for that, Leo. And if you're expanding your business, great. Focus on the center of the year in order to do that. And I wish you all the love and light in the world. Remember, you need a sense of purpose. And when you find that, everything else will fall into place. As always, if you found this video at all helpful, please like and subscribe. It inspires me to grow my channel, to keep making these videos. And if you are serious about studying astrology, please join me. I offer the most wonderful, inspiring course in September 2022. And you can find the details on my website. I'll post it below. I'll see you next time.